The government's got a problem. Less and less people are applying for federal jobs. We've seen drops in applicants across the government to include the VA. They announced just a few months ago there's like a 40-50% drop over there. The Department of Justice is another one. And there's a lot of other agencies out there that are struggling. They're reporting to OPM, hey, people have stopped applying. We're not getting enough qualified people into these positions. And you could be asking yourself, like, what are you talking about? The hiring freeze, that's the main reason why. The government shutdown. Combine those two things, who's applying for jobs? But there are jobs still available on usajobs.gov. Let's take a deeper look at the issue, starting with DOJ. So, Department of Justice. The main barrier that they have is they're coming off a little hostile. They sent a letter to Georgetown University saying, listen, you need to dismantle your DEI policies, completely get rid of it. Get rid of the office, get rid of the curriculum, get it gone. If you do not do that, we're not going to hire any of your students. That was earlier this year. That letter went out. And the university's like, we're not doing that. It got some attention. Some senators started to inquire. Now, nothing has come of it. DOJ hasn't, retracted its statement. And when I say DOJ, I'm talking about a specific leader in that organization. It wasn't the secretary, but it was somebody in a leadership role who sent out this letter. So, is Georgetown University blacklisted? I don't think so. Many people don't think so. If you look at universities across this country that have a DEI policy, you're looking at 75, 80%. Universities are essentially where DEI came from. If you go back to 1970s or even maybe before then, that's where it was born. It was conceived. The idea started to gain traction within universities. So are you just saying that you don't want to hire anybody from a university? Because the chances are if you hire somebody with a bachelor's degree, a law degree, they're going to have a degree from a university that has a DEI office or a DEI policy. So that was a little bit of a head scratcher. And why Georgetown specifically? It's because that's the most prestigious university in DC by a lot of people's estimation. And DOJ has been known to hire lawyers from that university. Okay, DOJ isn't the only one. VA also recently announced a 46% drop in job applicants and a 56% drop when it comes to new hires. Last year, the VA processed around 600,000 job applications. This year, it's closer to 300,000. And it's not because of the hiring freeze, because the VA has been hiring full force. You go online right now, usajobs.gov. The VA has over 3,000 jobs open for you, for your family members, for people that you know, open to the public, open to anybody who has a U.S. citizenship. And you might be thinking, well, it's all healthcare. It's not all healthcare. There's a lot of healthcare here. There's a lot of nursing, physicians, nursing assistants, but you have admin positions here. You have administrative specialists. You got a lot of, different job opportunities. Compare that number to the DOJ, because the DOJ is hurting. There's hundreds, if not thousands of vacancies. The DOJ right now, over 500 jobs you're going to find on usajobs.gov. So the VA is hiring so many more positions, but they're struggling, right? Also, SSA, they saw a 45% reduction when it comes to applicants. Now, this agency is largely not hiring. They have a severe staffing crisis, and they just don't acknowledge it. Like the leadership in SSA, they just pretend like things are going great. Things are not going great. Before 2025, before the Trump administration, things were not going great. They ranked dead last. They're a poor agency by a lot of metrics. I would say, number one, they don't get paid next to anything. They're getting paid $40,000, $45,000, $50,000 a year, and the stress and the workload is overwhelming, to put it nicely. So they struggle to get people into the agency. When they were hiring, they weren't applying, not like they used to. So that's been an issue. You also have HUD and FAA. They have both seen a 40% reduction in applicants this year. Now, some of it is accredited to the hiring freeze for HUD and FAA, but basically you have people that are worried. People are worried, am I going to get into a toxic work environment? Do I need to pledge my political loyalty, right? People are worried, do I have the same stability? What about another government shutdown? We just heard about the CR. The CR is going to January. So in 2 months, are we going to do the same thing again? If there is a shutdown, is my paycheck in jeopardy? I don't have the right financial health to endure another shutdown or to be in a situation where they want me to drive into work, spend the gas money, spend the car repair money, but they're not giving me any money. And I hear on the news that the president is contemplating not giving me my money at all. How does that make somebody feel? You don't have parents these days in 2025. Parents, if you're a parent, are you telling your child, hey, you know what you need to do? You need to explore some public service opportunities in the federal government. That conversation isn't being had. To the contrary, it's a warning. Don't do it. Don't accept that job at DHS. Don't do it. That's what you're seeing. Same thing could be said about the universities. If you're, let's say, a professor or a career counselor, are you advising students, hey, apply for that VA job? No, you're not. What you're doing instead, you're having the conversations, hey, listen, Susan, it might not be the year, or you might not want to apply for the next 3 years, right? That's the conversation that's probably happening on campuses more often than not. But it isn't all doom and gloom, because there are some agencies that have been receiving more applicants. Now, these agencies include DOD, Department of Defense. It's a big one. 30% of all federal jobs, they're hiring. They're hiring a lot of people. People are applying. People are applying in great numbers. I hear from HR specialists that they're overwhelmed for some positions. And, DOD is its own beast. You got military bases like scattered all over this country. Then you have the Pentagon in Arlington. So there's a lot of opportunities there. There's a lot of competition there. And it's one of the first agencies that veterans just automatically gravitate towards. Like, I'm retiring from the Air Force, Navy, insert your branch here. I'm retiring, or I'm transitioning out of this branch, and then they just automatically look at DOD with googly eyes like, oh, I should totally do that. You could do other agencies, but for 2025, for 2026, DOD is going to be one that continues to hire because they have that exemption, the national security exemption. That's one of the main reasons why. So they don't have to go through all the bureaucratic layers to get approval. Same thing with CBP, Customs and Border Protection. They're hiring. That's under DHS. So those are the two main agencies. If you're looking for opportunities, if you want to risk it, if you want to start your federal career in 2026, really you're looking at DOD, DHS, or VA. And combined, it makes up over 50% of all federal jobs. But for the other agencies, for EPA, Education, SBA, DOL, all those other agencies, HUD, it's going to be slim pickings in 2026. I do think it'll get better than what it's currently at in 2025. It's going to be slim pickings. Now, if you can find a job that meets one of those categories, national security, immigration enforcement, or public safety, if you could do that, then you should be pretty much set. Now, another issue that people are having is when they're applying, nowadays, they ask you the questions. They ask you, what is your favorite executive order? And a lot of people are saying, well, this is a political loyalty test. What if I answer it incorrectly? Then other people, they simply don't answer it at all. Some applications on usajobs.gov, it will force you to input something in that text field. And I think if you're serious about standing out from the competition, you have to fill it out. I would say fill it out. If you want to know exactly what you should put, how you should answer those type of questions, if that's on your mind, I want you to check this video out next. Stay updated by signing up to the free newsletter down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.